Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. We're 500 feet above the streets of New York City. It's raining. It's a little windy, but we didn't get the storm they were telling us we were going to get. I was reading reports we were going to get like 70-mile-an-hour winds and whatnot in the New York City area. We didn't get any of that. Just a lot of rain, washing out the Sunday, and now rain in the morning, and then we're just going right back to the 40s and some sunshine. Excuse me. Hey, Thompson, you're first on the whole damn thing. Good morning. Nick Umrican, how are you, brother? Good morning to you. You're first on the Facebook. Lisa Connor, good morning, GH. What's up, Lisa Connor? Got the Ted Palawada. We got the Gail, RJ Hinters, all the regulars. I love this. How are you? I am tired. I'm good. I thought I was heading towards some insomnia. I went to bed around 10:30. I was watching the Eagles, Cowboys. Cowboys ended up winning that game. There was no comeback, right? I would assume. Was watching the Bills and the Chiefs. It was offsides. And then I went to bed kind of early, and then like 11:30, I wake up wide awake. I'm like, here we go again. Insomnia. And then rolling and tossing and turning and all that jazz. And then all of a sudden I woke up at 5:45. I'm like, all right, I'll take that. I'll take almost 6 hours of sleep. Cheers to everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. We had a lovely weekend of just wandering around New York, finding stuff to do, eating some din-dins on the streets of New York. Went to the museum yesterday. That was fun. Although they had half the place closed down. We couldn't see the blue whale because they had some kind of special function they were setting up for it. But, it was still good. We liked it. Is it still raining? Flat Cat Jessica says, yeah, it's, well, I don't know, man. The streets look relatively dry right now, but they're saying rain until about 9 or 10 this morning. So, good morning to you, Flat Cat Jessica. What's up, Tom Taylor? How are you? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing all right. Tired, stressing. Christmas 2 weeks from today. No one needs this. No one wants this. No one wants this. There's a couple things we don't want anymore. That's what we should do this morning. Things we don't want anymore. We don't want Christmas anymore. We don't want daylight savings time anymore. We don't like Trump anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Just trying to rile people up. I don't care if Trump's the next president of the United States of America. I don't care. I don't care. I think it's heading that way again, if you want to know the truth. But that's all right. What's up, Greg Buell? How are you? Jets looked all right. Zach Wilson, he's like, oh, you want me to start as quarterback again? All right, let me show you what I can do. And then he has a great game because nothing matters. Nothing's on the line. But it was fun to see Zach Wilson come back and do all right. And then, the Bills finally won a game. Finally won a game they needed to win. They win in Kansas City in front of Taylor Swift, who did the bitch walk out of the stadium because she was pissed her man lost. Because Taylor Swift has been a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan for 6 games now. 6 games. She's been a massive Chiefs fan. Number 1 fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, Taylor Swift. For 6 weeks, she's been doing that garbage, flying here and there, and then she has to watch her favorite team lose like that. I wonder if she breaks up with Kelsey, right? Travis Kelsey, if she just has one of her assistants just take all her Kansas City Chiefs stuff and go, oh, get rid of all this. And then what? She goes back to being I think she's supposed to be an Eagles fan, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Oppenheimer, morning. What's up, Detroit by Dark? How are you? You have a good weekend, Detroit by Dark? I hope so. But, that play was offsides. The great play by Travis Kelsey that would have broke the soul and hearts of the Bills Mafia. He's running down, and then he turns and he throws the ball. Yes, that's legal. As long as you're throwing it backwards at that point, it's legal. And then they call it back because there was an offsides by this much. By this much, there was an offsides. And then I yelled at the TV when the Bills won. I went, finally. Because earlier in the day, I basically tweeted that I wanted to cut my losses, lower my expectations. And I basically said, the Bills will lose in some ridiculous way today. I just want to make that clear. And they almost did. But the Chiefs, your tippy toes were offsides by this much. So they called the play back, and the rest is history. Oh, well, things happen. Oh, well. And now there's a lot going on in the Swiftie world because Tony Romo has fake hair, right? Does he have fake hair? I come from a time you were able to tell fake hair, but with this Tony Romo, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm not sure if he has a hair system. He's definitely dyeing it jet black, but you do that for the TV probably, right? And then I don't know. It looks like it almost looks like it's a toupee. I don't know what's going on with the Tony Romo, but it looks good. And yes, he is my favorite announcer. A lot of people want to hate the Tony Romo, but there's a lot to do in the Swiftie world. The Swifties, who are now football fans, they all love the Kansas City Chiefs too. And Tony Romo basically referred to Taylor Swift as Travis Kelce's wife. And everyone's like, I was reading the Twitter. This is how funny it is. Like, Taylor Swift has brought so many young fans, so many young female fans to the NFL. They're all up in arms, and half these girls were saying, "Who is that guy that said that Taylor Swift is Travis Kelce's wife?" They're all losing their minds. I think Tony Romo slipped a little bit, right? Good morning, Open Gang. What's up, Chris Tartaglia? How are you? Good to see you, buddy. We got XM202 Afro off the Twitch. Good morning, Open Squad. Good morning to my one Twitch fan, XM202 Afro. Good morning to you. I hope your team won yesterday. Did your team win yesterday? I'm just glad the Bills won because I love my football, but I don't love my football if my team is not in the playoff hunt. So now what? The Bills, they now have to deal with Dallas. Oh my God. Hi, RJ Henners. How are you? What's up with the hang on, man? What's up with the hang on? Oh, what's up, Lori? Good morning. Good morning to you. Will you ever do MLC? Jose says. I think I did the MLC. I think I did the Kevin Brennan, didn't I? We did that about a week and a half ago, something like that. I was actually on the MLC podcast, but he was technically on my stream, so I guess there is no guess. I already promised that I would go and do his show. So yeah, I'll do that, Jose. Who have your inspirational figures been in your life when it comes to entertainment, politics, etc.? Teddy Mack says. Well, it started out, I was a massive basketball fan and a massive basketball player. That was my first love, playing basketball every single day in the driveway, setting up the lights because of the daylight savings time, because I would come home from school as the sun was coming down. And we lived kind of in a valley too, so the sun went down a little sooner for us anyway. And so we set up the lights. I was one of those kids, and I played no less than 2 or 3 hours a day, every single day of my early youth, until I discovered girls. And then I kicked a basketball into the busy street and never saw it again. No, to this day, I love shooting the hoops. So with that, my inspirational figure was Pete Maravich, good old Pete Maravich. Pretty much the greatest college basketball scorer of all time. He had a great run in the NBA, but it was cut short by injuries and a perm that he chose to wear when he went to the Celtics. Look it up. He could easily have been considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he just simply didn't play long enough. He was a massive inspiration. Went to his Went to his basketball camp. It was one of the highlights of my young life. And then in radio, it's Brother Weeze up there in Rochester. Before that, I was doing radio very, very wrong. Oh, my God. I was a kid with a weak Long Island accent. Try to have the golden pipes so I could say you're a home of rock and roll. Because that's what it was about back then, the golden pipes. You're not really saying anything, but man, do you sound awesome. And then I heard Brother Weeze's voice coming from one of the fraternity rooms. I should thank that guy. There was somebody in my fraternity that was listening to Brother Weeze up there in Rochester when we were going to college in Geneseo. And he was on a home of rock and roll. And then I heard this, no offense to Weeze, kind of a crappy voice. Definitely a voice that was very different than everybody else on the radio, as everybody else had those golden pipes. And then I'm like, wow, his voice is a little weird. But, man, he's really interesting and saying, like, cool stuff. So that changed my tune right there. In comedy, it would be, I was just telling my wife this yesterday. I was listening to George Carlin records from a very young age. Not so much Richard Pryor. There's a lot of people either pick Carlin or Pryor. I picked the Carlin. I was listening to his stuff at a very, very early age. He was definitely an influence. And then I think he's a creep. I think they should have kept him in prison. I know he was let out on a damn technicality, but that guy should be in prison. That's my opinion. I could have an opinion. But the Bill Cosby, I listened to a lot of Bill Cosby growing up. His storytelling was fantastic. I'm a little dehydrated. I've been biking my balls off, and I've been doing sets of 10 in this building. What is a set of 10, Ope? Well, I'm just laying around on the couch, and especially yesterday when it's all rainy and shitty, and all of a sudden I get up and I do 10 flights of stairs, and then I go back on the couch to watch some football or do this or that, and then I get up again and do another set of 10. Between that and the biking, I'm quite dehydrated right now, if you want to know the truth. I need some water, not coffee. So Cosby was an influence. His storytelling, especially. And then like worlds collided. The biggest influence in my professional career was definitely Brother Weeze, and a close second to Sam Kinison, who came in and did Brother Weeze's show for a bunch of days. It felt like close to a week. And because I was in Brother Weeze's inner circle, even though I was a plebe just getting started in radio, he allowed me to be very close to Sam Kinison for a few days in a row. And, man, you think like one day or a couple days or a few days could change your life. I truly believe it can. Because I watched Sam Kinison. And, look, I know what you're going to say. Shut up. But I did have a fantastic career in my own right. The edge that guy had, and knowing where the line was and knowing when he could go over the line and say some outrageous, crazy crap, but also bring it back. That's the key that a lot of these people don't understand. And it's the key to the Opie and Anthony show as well. There's a line, and it's our jobs to kind of explore the other side of that line. But if you live on the other side of that line, this is getting technical for people. That's when you get in a lot of trouble. But if you go over the line, and just when people are like, these guys are nuts, you bring it back to safety. And Kinison knew how to do that. I mean, just beautifully. He was so edgy, but there was a little twinkle in his eye when he was saying all his crazy ass shit. And watching him on the radio with Brother Weeze for those 2 or 3 days in a row, it changed my life. I went, aha! And I moved in a very, very different direction with my my radio career. And, I think I would have done all right no matter what. But getting to see Kinison and Weeze do radio like that, wow. To this day, I think about that. And as far as politics, they could all go, F themselves. Inspirational figures in politics, get the hell out of here. You get the hell out of here. I don't believe. I'm not a believer. So there you go. Two, Opie, two. Oh, RJ Hinders is in my Twitch. There he is. What's up, RJ? I laugh. I want to write Twitch and go, don't bother, because every time I go live, so when I go live on StreamYard, once again, I'm on Twitter right now, Facebook, YouTube, a Facebook group, and then Twitch. I think I got them all. Whatever. I just click on all of them, and then Twitch. You know, they're nice people over there. They give me a live stream summary. You had 2 viewers today, and they watched for a total of. I want to write them back and go, don't bother. I couldn't get my Twitch going. It's pretty obvious. But RJ, welcome to the Twitch side of things. Good morning, Ope. What's up, Winnie? How are you? My Cleveland Browns won. Well, right on, Robert Cowling. Right the F on. Over the weekend. Man, it was a throwaway tweet, but I'm still getting answers to this, which is kind of crazy. I basically said the greatest debut rock album of all time was Boston. There's not a bad song off the Boston album. Pretty much every song got radio airplay. Believe it or not, "Hitch a Ride" by Boston off that first album didn't get a lot of radio play, and that song is so good too. So I basically said the greatest rock debut album of all time is Boston. And then, of course, you had the people, oh, shut up, old man. Blah, 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 blah. But then, you know, there's a huge argument that was made all weekend long that Appetite for Destruction could be the greatest debut album of any rock band. And it's hard to say no to that. So I think it's between Boston's first album. I think it's between Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. A bunch of people threw in Led Zeppelin's first album. A lot of people were pushing for Jimi Hendrix and his first album. But those were the biggies. Pearl Jam, maybe squeezing into the top 5 with their 10 album, excuse me. But I got to acknowledge that Appetite for Destruction easily could give Boston a run for their money. And then people were saying Nirvana. And then a lot of people were like, you idiot. I love Twitter. We're just trying to have a little fun. And someone goes, what about Nevermind, excuse me, by Nirvana? You idiot. That's not their debut album. But Appetite for Destruction, yeah, that could take out Boston, I think. I think so. Opie from O&A. I thought someone told me you quit radio and started producing and start. Okay, thank you, Dwayne Williams. Jesus, right for a block. I ain't dealing with your garbage. He's gone. God, what shit? It's just endless. I think I'm down to 5 haters. My stars dropped to the point I think I'm down to 5 haters, but these 5 haters are going to hang on for dear life. Hang on for dear life. The perms will always hold you back, bro. I think you're right, Tommy Festa. I think you're right. The stupid perms. Hope you had a great weekend, bro. I had a very good chill weekend, but it was really nice because a lot of family time. You know, we get caught up in this and that. You know the deal. You probably have family. And it was just nice that we did a whole bunch of stuff as a family this weekend. One of the things we did as a family was, I think my daughter tapped out on this part. We watched The Jerk by Steve Martin. And my wife, she goes, I never saw this movie. I go, oh, my God, we got to watch it. And I haven't seen it in, probably 20 years. And the movie kind of holds up. But there is a scene in there. Oh my God. And you know, I come from a place with all this stuff. I really believe you could joke about anything. I really believe when it comes to comedy, it's really important that it's funny, obviously. And it's really important that you're not really, no, I don't want to say not really, that you're really not showing hate in your heart. Like, look, I'm just doing this because I want to say the N-word. I don't even care if it's funny. And I'll hide under the guise that I'm trying to be funny here. But with that said, There's a scene in The Jerk that I forgot all about. He's got some mafia guys walking around the pool, and they're trying to grab some money from Steve Martin's character, and because he made it big with the Opti grab. That's the joke, by the way, that some people didn't get on the Twitter. There's a guy in Ireland. Where's my phone? Let me get my phone. There's a guy in Ireland. Don't worry, I'll bring all this together. It's not a real show anyway. Well, it's kind of a show, I guess. I don't know. There's a guy in Ireland now that is going to decide if your tweets are okay. This is no joke. Oh, Jesus. Why is everybody tweeting me right now? Stop tweeting me. I'm trying to find something. All right. There's a guy in Ireland, right? His whole... This guy, my first joke, wait, is that the better picture? I'm obsessed with this guy. This guy, I tweeted that picture, excuse me. I said another victim of the OptiGrab. But that guy, he is now head of monitoring and censoring social media in the Republic of Ireland. So he's going to basically decide if your tweets are okay or not. That guy, that's how bad it's getting. And that's why I will bring it all together. That's why I have no problem with Alex Jones coming back to Twitter. Don't like the Alex Jones. I think he's despicable. I also think he does have info way before other people at times. Yes, but he probably should knock out some of the nonsense that he does. And I have no problem with him being back on Twitter because I think there's going to be plenty of people. I'm not going to be one of them. I don't feel like living in that world as much anymore. That will push back against Alex Jones's nonsense. And then there will be times where Alex Jones will tweet something and people will be like, oh my God, how does he know this? So, but I'm a fan of that because of what I just showed you. In some places it's getting harder and harder to express yourself. Your First Amendment rights. I don't know what kind of First Amendment they have in Ireland, but we're slowly but surely going down this road. And I'm a victim of this. I'm all over social media every single day. And the most mundane stuff that I've posted on Instagram and TikTok, they yanked my whole TikTok account recently. They've suspended me on Facebook. They have suspended me on Instagram. And my stuff is relatively tame these days. And that's why Alex Jones coming back to Twitter is a good thing, because Elon Musk, he allows you to do this garbage. Because maybe Twitter's line is way over here, but Instagram and TikTok, their line is so far back. I'll say it again. TikTok, they gave me a week ban or suspension because I made fun of Biden sleeping. When he went to Hawaii, he had his head down, looked like he was sleeping, right? Everyone saw that footage. He was like this. Was he praying? I don't think so. I honestly think it was a long flight and he was nodding off. And then all of a sudden he goes like this and wakes up and looks around, right? So when he was doing this, this is some of the stuff I do that's just, it's ridiculous and it's just throwaway stuff, but not to these social media platforms. He's sleeping, and then it's a dramatic, quick cut to me screaming, "Wake up!" And then all of a sudden it goes back to him, and he goes like this, like I woke him up. It's really, honestly, it's a throwaway video. I wasn't expected to go viral or any of that garbage, but if you're playing this social media game, you gotta just throw content out there all day long. It's a real pain in the ass if you want to know the truth. So with that said, TikTok, they suspended me for like a week for that. There's something about bullying or something. Do you understand, humor? It might not be the funniest thing ever, but it falls into the humor category before bullying. And then the Bobert Instagram yanked me for a while because all I did was take the footage of her in a movie theater and I put the song by Alanis Morissette, in a movie theater. That song I can't really say because I don't want to get yanked again. Yank suspension. So that's why, like, people are like, how can you want Alex Jones back on Twitter? I'm like, because Elon Musk, he's allowing me to do my thing, and I know everything I say today, I won't even have to think about Twitter yanking me, and that's why right there. I'm already nervous about some of this stuff for the Instagram and for the Facebook especially. You can't be monetized anymore. Why can't I? Why, Facebook? Why? So watching The Jerk, I really think everything is a go in comedy, especially if it's funny, and especially if there's no hate in your heart. So we're watching The Jerk, and you got the mafia scene around the pool. They're trying to get some money from Steve Martin's character. What was his name? Navin or something like that. Because he's a multimillionaire because of the Opie grab. But then, and then there's a class action lawsuit with the Rob Reiner standing up in court with the cross eyes. So, Martin's character lost that case. And then he was at his desk just writing checks for $1.09 to every single person, millions of people. He had to write a check for $1.09. But before that, when everyone was trying to take his money, there's a whole mafia crew around his really gorgeous pool. And basically they were talking about, I can't even do the whole scene, but then the N-word was referenced. And then Steve Martin, because if you remember the beginning of the movie, he says he was brought up a poor black child in Mississippi. He got really mad at the mafia guys and said, I'm an N. But he says the word. And me and my wife looked at each other like, oh, my God, it felt so weird. I'm more than okay with it. But it felt so weird. And obviously, then the discussion immediately goes to, wow, they just would not have that scene nowadays. No one would do that scene nowadays. And then online, there's a whole argument if you could even make The Jerk these days. We're just a bunch of pansies out there. We can't handle any of this stuff. So no. Oh, damn. I can't show you this. I can't show you this mug. Oh, damn. Bunch of, where you can't even make a movie like The Jerk anymore. My God, man. But to watch that scene with Steve Martin going, and he says the word, you're just like, holy crap. And then, I tried to tell my son and stuff. I'm like, well, there was a time that was more than acceptable. This scene went out. It was a major motion picture. It did crazy numbers at the time. It was a massive comedy that held up for many, many years. And there you go. So, W-Man, on one side of the line is good and bad, right and wrong, black and white. The other side of the line is just that side of the line. Well, damn, I like that. What's up, Jason? How are you? I hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Yeah, Bleach was the debut album from Nirvana, right? I think, yes. Airplane seats with cracks. I don't know what that means. Good morning, Open All. What's up, Scott Watson? Many people in the know vote Metallica, Kill 'Em All, or Ride the Lightning, or Master of Puppets, or Metallica Thrash's Best. All right, honky tonk. I'm talking about an album though, like when you're talking about the greatest debut album of all time. I think I was more thinking like where there wasn't a bad song on the album, and the whole album got crazy ass airplay on radio. I think that was my criteria for that. And, I think it's between Boston's first album, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, and Led Zeppelin's first album. Yes, I think so. Morning from St. Petersburg, Florida. What's up, St. Petersburg? How are you? Are you on this guy's radar already? Uh-oh. Whose radar, RJ Henners? Whose radar? Death Saw. That dude looks like he'd tell you to stay away from drugs, but he'd have a potted plant habit. All right, then. Thank you for your comment. They try to take Alex Jones's cat. Oh my God, you can't do that, right? Who the F's that court eye? What? All right, thank you, brother. A bunch of potato heads in here. Did the word get out that you got to attack the kid today? You got to get up early, set your alarm, and make sure you get up early and throw your crap at him. Bad Company's first album. Oh my God, Mike O'Donnell as a rock. This will only be fun. This will only be fun for two people. I was a DJ on rock radio as well, and boy, was it fun to say, "Here's Bad Company." From the band Bad Company, off the album Bad Company, on your home of rock and roll. Or if you're really cool, you would go, here's Bad Co. from the band Bad Co. off their album Bad Co. on your home of rock and roll. Oh, people would be like, oh my God, he's amazing. Did he really just do that? What's up, Mike O'Donnell? That is a damn good first album, though. A lot of people don't understand the humor. Chris Tartaglia. TikTok absolutely does not understand the humor. I even wrote him. I'm like, dude, I got to back out. I can't do as much with you as I've been doing because you guys don't get it. You just want people doing stupid trend videos. That's all you care about. I did a lot of research on the TikTok, and there's a whole bunch of comedians that had their whole accounts yanked for their comedy. So they don't understand the difference between comedy and like over the line material. They don't get it over there. I said, you guys don't get it. They yanked my my live stream feed and literally took my account away from me. And then I argued with them for a few days. I'm like, why am I even bothering? I make 27 cents a month from TikTok. Why am I even bothering? But I was bothered enough that I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And finally they gave me my account back. But I'm like, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. You know, when TikTok has taken my live stream away from me no less than 4 times. I think I'm up to 4. And I multi-stream. I go, every time you take my live stream down, I'm still on all the other platforms. So all you're doing is telling creators like, this is not a safe space. You can't go too edgy. And those people are going elsewhere with their audiences. Unfortunately, Opie, we have to protect free speech, even if it's coming from an idiot. John Christopher, you're right. See, I don't think a lot of people really understand the First Amendment. You know, the First Amendment, you know, protects you. You know, it means you're going to say. This is what I'm going to say. It means you're going to see and hear things you don't like or agree with. That's the true First Amendment. Not First Amendment. You're right to say this and that, but as long as I agree with you, you're okay. Yeah, you get it, John Christopher. A lot of people, especially the younger generation, they don't get that. They think, you know, the First Amendment is all about stuff that they agree with, and anything that they don't agree with is against the First Amendment, and we got to cancel that guy's life. Oh, my God. And I know, because someone's going to, I know this whole argument. I do. But Twitter has the right, and Instagram. I know. Individual companies have the right, and it's not technically a First Amendment issue in that regard. Actually, I don't even think you could say technically. You know, these companies. I worked for a few of them. You're like, oh my God, I didn't break any rules. Well, yeah, but there are people complaining, and we're scared. So they get ready. They have their own rules. I understand that. I understand companies have their own rules, but their rules are stupid. They're stupid. Did it make you uncomfortable to hear the N-word first name? Not really. It made me uncomfortable knowing where we are in society. And if the jerk came out today and they didn't tell anybody and they just put the movie out like that, and that scene, you know, was watched by people, there would be major outrage on a Monday. Major outrage. That I guess I guess it was shocking in a way because I realized how much we have lost, in comedy. I think that's what was shocking about it because I'm like, oh my God, I go to my wife. I'm like, when I saw this movie, I think I don't know, I was a very young lad. No one thought twice of it. But now to hear it in 2023 society, you're like, oh my God. That's what I was shocked about. I wasn't uncomfortable or anything like that. No. But I was just like, wow. Wow. That's what I said out loud. I'm like, wow, we lost a lot, which is too bad. I mean, the Norman Lear died at 101, and he's been being praised by everybody the last few days. And the fact is, not one of his shows could be made nowadays, which is that's so too bad. Oh, and they threw around all sorts of words on the Norman Lear shows. Good morning, Hope. I'm just wondering if you have any good Marion stories. No, I don't, Peter. Thank you. The sheriff is near. Who the hell is the sheriff? Detroit. You should rewatch Blazing Saddles. No, I that's a movie I go to a lot, Tom, mate. And of course that movie can't be made. Oh my God. And for the time, that movie, we all laughed and laughed and laughed. Was it just white people that were laughing? I don't think so, man. I remember that was a massive hit across the board, and everybody laughed. It was crazy. Let's see. LOL. You just watched The Jerk, the guy with cracks in his airplane seats. I don't know what that means with the cracks in the airplane. Is it a scene in the movie that I'm forgetting? Eddie, good morning, Hope. What are you chopping on for breakfast? You like eggs and all? Man, Eddie, that's a good question. Sometimes I'll grab a hard-boiled egg for my kids' schools. They have breakfast in the morning, and the parents get to dip in and get a cup of coffee and say hi to other parents and have a little breakfast. And sometimes I'll grab a banana and a hard-boiled egg. But my go-to breakfast is basically smoothies. Lots and lots of smoothies. All right, let me go get the kids, wake them up. Hit the like, please. We got no, we don't got a sunrise today. Of course not. We got some nice blues in the background. You're welcome. Was about that glasses, gentlemen. I don't know what that is. Okay. They don't like sarcasm. It displays a higher level of intelligence. The sarcasm, what on the TikTok? I guess it's a damn shame. Is that how it goes? What's good, Ope? Good morning, man. Hey, Joseph, how are you? I'm trying to put someone cool on. You know what? Minash is the cool one. Minash on the big screen. I'll be right back. Got to wake up the kids and warm up the coffee. All right. I don't know. I guess I say it all the time, but maybe I should just play something when I get up and get a cup of coffee. But I think you guys like to chill too, because I think you run to the bathroom, or maybe you grab a second cup of coffee. I don't know. The First Amendment only protects your right to speech without government condemnation. Yeah, I know that. Trust me, I know that. I just, being a radio guy, that I was trying to be shocking and edgy and hopefully funny, whether it was me or somebody else on the show, certainly was one of my responsibilities as part of a giant show with a giant staff was hopefully make it entertaining, edgy, and funny. And I would argue with these companies all the time. I'm like, you hire us to be edgy and shocking and funny. We're going to go over the line. So how about you protect us every once in a while? But man, as soon as you messed up, they couldn't wait to get rid of you. And then make believe you never existed. And before that, they would wine and dine you. They would pretty much give you anything. The stuff I was offered over the years, I don't know if it was crazy. We'll give you a suitcase of money if you come here. What? Yeah, but you can't tell anybody. But then as soon as you mess up, they want to get rid of it. It was just exhausting. And then I would argue like free speech and, the First Amendment and all that. And then you do learn that companies have their own stupid rules, of course, and they can do whatever the hell they want. Well, that's one reason why radio completely collapsed, because they didn't stick up for their people. Simple as that. Good people, good, solid, entertaining, talented radio guys, because you know who the problem people are in any business. So if it's a radio guy and they're feeling the pressure of ratings, because if they don't get the ratings, then they're out. They're out. So they got to push. Every day they got to push. Here's the line. Oh my God, we're over a little bit. Let's get back here. But as soon as they go too far, the company would get rid of them. And my argument was always like, how about their whole history at your radio station? Seems like day after day, they were grinding it out and understanding the rules and understanding how to keep everybody safe. They mess up once and you ruin their lives. And then these poor radio guys, they would have to sell their homes and pull their kids out of schools. This was one of the things when I was coming up I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but when I was coming up in radio, I moved around a bunch. And my whole thought was like, when I finally have a family and kids, I ain't moving for this stupid business. And that's why you've seen me sitting here day after day, year after year. Because at this point, I ain't moving around the country for a radio job, because you can't trust any of these radio people at all. And you saw it, a lot of these guys, they would get fired or, they would just get fired. But there's many reasons to get fired. They weren't performing or they stepped over the line. And then the next thing you know, I guess I got to go. And then all of a sudden, you're getting to know their family, and all of a sudden they're being yanked out of schools and they got to sell their homes. And look, I know this happens in a lot of professions, but in radio, man, the old school guys that came before me, I thank them, because they absolutely paved the way by grinding it out year after year. Those guys, a lot of them would move no less than 10 times in their careers. I mean, a lot of them. A lot of them. In other news, I touched a meteor yesterday that they say is older than Earth at the Museum of Natural History. We went there yesterday in the pouring rain. They closed the main entrance. I'm like, oh no, private function. Well, you could go in the museum on 81st Street. I'm like, okay. And then we see the line. It's like, oh my God, we're not even close to 81st Street. We're in the pouring rain with our umbrellas on a long line. They closed off the main lobby, which has that giant dinosaur that's pretty epic. It's been in movies and whatnot. And then they closed off the Blue Whale room for a private function and other sections. But with that said, went into the gem area, and they have meteors that are just sitting there. Little thing says this meteor is older than Earth itself. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to, I'm feeling it. Like, oh, I'm touching something that's older than Earth. That's kind of cool, you know? And then I'm like, then I have to be the guy. I'm like, how do they know? How do they actually know, though? And I kind of do stuff, you know, to make my kids laugh and my wife be uncomfortable because Carl's not around because I can't make Carl uncomfortable anymore. So I'm now like the guy going, how do they know? People are looking at me. Look at this lunatic. And then I go up to one of the guys that's like guarding the gems because the gem room is got to be worth, I don't know. It's got to be worth a minimum of $10 million in that room. And so I go up to him. They're saying the meteor is older than Earth itself. How do they know? The guy's like, I don't know, sir. And then, you know, and then I look back at the meteor. And there's a guy wiping his booger on it. So that sums up our time as humans on Earth right there. Guy was just wiping his booger on the meteor that was older than Earth itself. This is what I think about your meteor that is older than Earth itself. He just wipes a booger on it. That is a true story. Actually, my stuff is true. Do I exaggerate every once in a while? Yeah, all right, I do. But that one I did. That is as true as it gets. I was like, oh my God. Dude, I forget the airplane seat scene, Mike. I know that's what you're referencing, but I'm like, maybe I got up to get a dessert or something because sometimes when I see these old movies, I feel like I can move around a little bit because I've seen them. I don't remember the airplane seat scene, and you know what? Because of you, I'm going to have to like research that after I turn this off. Which I got to do really, really soon because I just realized I don't have breakfast stuff for the kids. So I got to run out to a bodega and get some breakfast stuff. Did Opie fall out the window? Oh, my God. No, I did not. 27 degrees here in Alabama. You're an Alabama man. Minash, thanks for the Zaz. Opie, let's say you had to do a bra bombing again. Pick 3 peeps you would like in the balloon with you. I would go with... I would go with Carl Ruiz. I would go with Vic Henley and Patrice O'Neal. Yes. And the only reason I didn't pick Anthony was because we already did it. Me and Anthony already were in but we already did the bra bombing together. Those would be the 3 peeps. Just so I could see like Patrice's eye roll. He would be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Opie has the coziest stream in the morning. Can't beat that view. Yeah, man, the blue just brings everybody like into a calming place, right? I think so. Actually, this is my favorite. Even though the sunrises are spectacular, when it's cloudy, everything just looks blue outside my window. Think nights in white satin, the Moody Blues. Founding member of the Moody Blues just died. He also was in The Wings with the Paul McCartney. Peter, I'm sorry, Peter. I should have answered your question. I will say the more I hung around Marion after my mom got sent to the nursing home, the more I understood you, Aunt Sam, and Jim. I'm sorry, Peter. You know, when I said I don't have a Marion story, as I clicked, I'm like, that's Lady Di's son. Hi, Peter. Please send a lot of love to your mom from us, from the collective us. Marion was just flat out exhausting. If you want to know the truth, exhausting. But man, if she didn't give us good radio, and we could all learn from Marion. You know, I look a little tired on camera right now, and I'm like, oh my God, can I turn down the lights? Can I put a bag over my head? I'm not looking my best right now. My eyes aren't even open. I'm getting more and more squinty. I guess the LASIK is wearing off, but I'm not wearing readers. Maybe I'll get some contacts. So I just want to be in the dark right now. Like, oh God. And Marion, man, she thought she looked good all the time. Her confidence was second to none. And if you called her out on any of that, she would give you a beating. What do you mean I don't look good? I'm sorry. Oh, whoa, I'm sorry. Not a hint of a shape to her body. An incredible tight, big bird perm. And she had all the confidence in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, can I, maybe if I pull my hat down more, I can hide. But we could all learn from her and her unbelievable confidence, Peter. Good to see you, buddy. Definitely no 55-gallon drums or homeless parties. All right. Opie, somebody said something about you returning to Opie and Anthony. You said you never know. Were you joking? I hope. I guess there's a. I don't see a path, royalty, but I mean, you never know. Crazier things have happened, but I don't really see a path. You know, for the simple fact that I think Anthony's on a path that he probably has no desire to get off. And I'm not taking a shot at Anthony at all, but I'm just saying, like, when you look at people you want to work with, I don't want to go heavy politics. I don't want to go heavy race relations in America, even though those are two giant topics. I have no desire. If you want to know what I'm into right now, just watch my Tuesdays at Get Parts. Silly, stupid, and easy. No drama, no heavy lifting in general. So I think there's really not a path, if you want to know the truth. But, you know, you never know. I guess you got to say that. You know, people always are telling you, well, you never know. Fair enough. You never know. Was New York the #1 radio market in the world? Minash wants to know. Oh, my God, by far. It was always New York 1, LA 2. And then Chicago. Does anyone I used to know this stuff like the back of my hand. I'm trying to remember. The top 5 radio markets in general, I think it was, now don't even look at like current day because radio stinks. But back in the heyday of radio, New York was #1, LA 2. I remember when I was moving up with my career, I'd be like, oh my God. I'd be in Rochester, which would be like market, I don't know, 70, let's say. And then I moved to Buffalo, and I'm like, oh, my God. Now I'm in market 48. And then I moved back home to Long Island. I'm like, oh, my God. Because Long Island's way up there, too. Oh, my God. Now I'm in the top 30. And then, Boston. Now I think Boston was like #6, if I remember correctly. I'm like, oh, my God. And then we moved to New York. I'm like, we're in the #1 radio market in the world. Older than Earth, did you shake hands with Scott Shannon? I got a meteor on my house. Jesus. We got there. Cheers. Very good. Jimmy and his wife are on YouTube now. I knew the XM contract was bad, but Jimmy on YouTube bad. They must be taking money away daily. Wait. Jimmy's on YouTube with his wife now. Oh my. Well, I'm sure they'll get stupid numbers if you want to know the truth. Aldo, Opie's solo show is growing too fast and taking all of Howard Stern's audience. So Stern had Opie fired. Shameful. Man, I wish that would. No, I just didn't behave. You know, they wanted me to behave with the Howard Stern. I couldn't behave with the Howard Stern. The last show I was doing, it was doing all right. It was definitely growing, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't a massive success yet, but I know it was on its way. I know it was. Is this a bit? What, the booger thing on the meteor? Because I see you, Joe. You say Jose. Sorry, is this a bit? Oh wait. I think the booger on the no. I'm telling you that is not a bit. How I saw it, the guy was wiping a booger on the meteor that was older than Earth itself, and then I'm like, oh my god, why am I touching anything in here? Everybody's touching everything in here. Oh my god. And I grabbed some hand sanitizer from the wife, and we moved on. We moved on to look at the Neanderthals. They got a Neanderthal skeleton, but it's not from one person. They had to put 6 Neanderthal skeletons together to make one Neanderthal skeleton. I was like, well, damn, that must have taken a lot of work. All right, I'm going to go. I got to go. What's up, Black Polo? How are you, brother? Would you ever think of putting together a music video playlist? What are your top includes? Death Saw. Man, my music taste lies just below the hits of all the rock bands you know and love. Just below. Like Joshua Tree is one of my favorite albums. As I get older, not as much, but it was one of my favorite albums for a very, very long time. But the hits were great, but I loved Red Hill Mining Town. It was a song that radio didn't really play. You think the Doors, Alabama song, stuff like that. Leonard Skinner, Give Me Back My Bullets. That's where I lie with my my music taste. The songs that were really good, but radio just didn't have room for these songs. I got more examples of that, but I can't really think of them right now. But I certainly could. I could certainly come up with that. Punching out RJ Henners. All right. Yeah, let's get out of here. Nice and easy today, right? I got shit to do anyway. Guys, thank you for oh shit. No, I really gotta go. Oh my God. I gotta go, guys, for real. No plugs. I literally got to get to the store and get stuff for my kids for their breakfast. Thank you very much. I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully tomorrow morning. Trying to get back on a regular schedule. I think we're on a regular schedule. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks for checking this.